Hello everyone, how are you all doing today? Hello Virtual Scallop, sorry, this, starting the stream has been a bit scuffed. I lost track of time while I was getting everything set up, and I forgot that I wanted to start at 7, so yeah, stuff was a bit rushed. Sorry about that, yeah. So, today, we are going to be going over Minecraft modding, specifically with the Fabric mod loader. I want to teach more folks how to mod Minecraft, and Boundary Breaker, a while back, was working on a modding tutorial series for 1.16 with Fabric, and then community drama happened, and she burnt out, and didn't end up getting any more of the series done, so I'm going to be taking over its work. I'm going to re-record the initial episode and just basically start again. Yeah, this should be fun. Before we really get into what's going to be going on today, I want to talk about, like, Foundry's plans for the series. I've heard Start Fresh how much really comes out from Minecraft, yeah. Yeah, the big thing is that Foundry will be working on not just, like, Foundry wanted the series to be not just about how to make a mod in general, but like how to make a fun or interesting mod. Because they really care about that and care about having, like, something be worth, like, playing with. That's a really big thing for them, so that's what they're gonna do. Yeah. The series will have a big focus on making it a mod that isn't just like a functional mod that adds like some of the main stuff you'd want to add, but it does new and interesting things, and they're going to be focusing on design notes and such, because that's something they care about. And something I care about too. So yeah. Yeah, today is gonna be, like, working on some of the stuff for that. The visuals for the first episode are pretty much set out, but we need to record the audio, because this time I'm gonna be reading it instead of, instead of Boundary. So yeah. Yeah. If there's anything should be a fun time, then yeah, definitely. If there's anything that folks want to ask about now before we get going, feel free to do so. Just because, like, we're gonna be doing probably a lot of stuff today and don't wanna get too focused in on that and not be able to show up to answer anyone's questions. Yeah. Let me also get idea set up. Oh, I should probably, bring up my keyboard view. Oh, typing setting. Okay. Camera 2. That's weird. Why is the camera all fucked? Just a second. Okay. That should be better. Now you can see me. There. That's good. Real scuff night tonight, sorry. Oh boy. Should be fun. Yeah. Okay. So, I should probably first, talk about the mod that we're gonna be making. The idea Boundary had was, for a project called Oceanica. It is a, somewhat typical, tool, armor, and such adding mod, but with a twist on it. Let me pull up the main material of the mod. Oh dear. Did those never get added? Just a second. Well, yikes. We forgot to actually add something on our other computer. Oh well, yeah. Just a second. Sorry for all the scuff. This is gonna be a very scuffed night, I think. Please stay with me. Having to do this on my other machine because that's where everything was stored. Okay, there. Yeah. There. There, that should have them on this machine now. Sorry for all the scuff. This is... Honestly, I'm surprised it took me this long to have, a super scuffed stream. But yeah, there. Okay. Oh, right. Fuck. I forgot it's super low res and it doesn't do nearest neighbor rescaling. So, Oceanic Quartz. It's like the quartz texture in vanilla, but pretty. Yeah, and it's based off like Cobalt Aura Quartz, which is a synthetic type of form, like a synthetic quartz that has like cobalt infused on it. It's neat. Cute. Yeah, I'm really proud of it. So, trying to like get a sense of God. Doesn't help anything that we didn't get much charging time last night. I'm so sorry, this is like unbelievably scuffed right now. Oh, they actually show up really nicely in Idea. Let's actually tag over to the gameplay part. Not gameplay, but yeah. Okay, so, music, stream safe, go. Yeah, so, this is Oceanic Quartz. It's pretty and cool, and you're gonna make stuff with it, like your typical pickaxe and sword and shovel and axe and hoe and everything. And those are gonna be neat. Then you've also got like your helmet, chest plate, boots, leggings. These aren't as fancy textures, and I need to figure out a way to like make them fancier, because I'm actually really proud with like how I got these to look. They all look like fancier. So yeah, you can't make me make anything. But the coloration on their swords, thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry, Ronnie. I am not gonna ask for your help with these textures. Yeah. So. These are gonna be, like, fancy in some way. I've been thinking about, like, different ideas of how, and there are, like, a few options. Like, the most basic way would be the more you use them, the more damage they take, the more stats and such they get, but that gets kind of grindy and not very fun. So, talking with Rye, we had another idea, is where basically whenever you enchant them, they gain enchantment points, which get stored on the material on the tool whenever you disenchant it. So it can actually be worth it to like just throw a lot of enchantments on it and then scrape them off again. Yeah. And then you could use those enchantment points for boosting them or such. Yeah. Let's pull up the enchantment stuff, because, enchantment... There's some issues with enchantments. Let me pull it up real quick. There it is. Oh, yes. Enchantments have an issue. Over in Enchantment Helper. So, there is, frankly, a bug in the Get Possible Entries area of enchantments. If we go find it, so it will, so here's the issue. It checks enchantment.type.isAcceptable and that is an issue because if you check, enchantments are supposed, so that goes on enchantment target, but if we go to enchantment, if it's still there, enchantment have their own isAcceptable, which checks if the stack item is acceptable. But to my knowledge, that is never actually called. And so you can't make an enchantment that has acceptable items other than its enchantment target, which is an enum. Which, yeah, it's annoying as hell. And that means we might have to we might have to do some stuff with this that makes it not possible to, or which could cause incompatibilities with other stuff. And yeah, we'll see. Ultimately, we might want to just mix in how the entire enchantment system is done just to mess with what we want to do for it. For the enchantment point system. Yeah. This is basically a scratch pad I've got for Oceanica, so I can write out the mod once before actually doing it on camera for the stream. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. So, I guess I can run through making a Minecraft mod while we're here. So, I am using a plugin called Minecraft Development for Idea. There. I pull us over to Settings and Plugins. This is the one. It's called Minecraft Development. It's by DemonWav. It supports a lot of different... Oh, hey, let me guess who... Hello! Hello! Just a sec. There. Hey, Sammy. Yeah. It supports, basically everything reasonable to support. So bucket, spigot, paper, sponge, forge fabric, MCP, mix-in, velocity, bungee cord, waterfall, and light loader. Doesn't support Rift, but Rift is fucking dead. Yeah, it's got a built-in... Yeah. With it, you can create a new project that is a Minecraft mod. So, you would go to Fabric Mod, you'd make all the metadata stuff, and it will create all the base code to make a Minecraft mod with. And that's basically all I've done so far. I was originally gonna have episode 1 be a how to set up idea from scratch and everything, but that's just not worth it. Yeah. Instead, we can kind of just that's how you start up the project. I'll go more in depth with that in the final. Yeah. Oh. Next up, yeah. After that, you would want to, like, get a basic block and item register. So, for, like, the most basic part of it, you would, like, just to show, hey, this is how it works, you would do something like item, then, Oceanica, and here. Then you would do a new item. There. So, right now we have a line which tells the registry class of Minecraft over here at registry that it should register to something to the item registry with the identifier of a namespace Oceanica and the path of Oceanic Quartz, and it'll register basically a plain new item that we can find in the miscellaneous item group. Then we can hit the play button up here on Minecraft Client. That will build the mod. Let it take its time, because building can be slow. You're so smart. Oh, thank you. Alright, then. Minecraft is open. Oh, that one. Yeah, then you might have noticed as it was scrolling by, Minecraft is unhappy for some reason. It says, unable to load model, reference from Oceanic Quartz inventory for file not found exception. Well, doesn't seem like it's actually crashed anything, so let's go in. Create a creative world, just to see how stuff is. Don't need to worry about game rules, click the wrong button. And then we can go in. Oh, should turn off the Minecraft music, because we've got our own music. Let's also turn the video up to max. Then we set it for item settings with the item group of miscellaneous. An item group is one of these creative tabs over here. So like building blocks, decoration, redstone, transportation, brewing, combat, tools, foodstuffs, and miscellaneous. Of course, these are all just like what Vanilla's had since 1.3. Yeah, let's go down and what is that? Item.oceanica.oceanic quartz. We have added an item to the game, but gonna be honest, it kind of sucks. Like, it's just this big purple and black cube, and oh no, that's no good. So, yeah, and it doesn't even have like a readable name. And so that means we're gonna need to create some assets. We can exit out of Minecraft now. Our internet fucked off the high again. Hello! Gonna quit out. We don't care. Yeah, so if we go over to the resources folder, all this asset stuff, I couldn't just install Counter-Strike source. That'll fix the texture. Yeah. So this assets folder isn't there when the project is created, but I made it myself just so I could put all these things in. So these are all the textures I have pre-made for this mod, including this nice and pretty Oceanic Quartz texture. So the game needs to know how to actually use that. So we're going to need to create a new file. yeah, for us, it will go in source, main, resources, assets, Oceanica, models, item, oceanic quartz.json. Ooh, Victoria Popper Sammy, thank you very much for following. Welcome to the network. I really appreciate that. That's one more follow closer to the VR redebut. Alright, so Minecraft uses JSON files for just about everything you're gonna do in the way of, like, not Java code. You're gonna use it for item models, for localization files, for block states when we get to those. You're gonna use them for recipes, loot tables, all that jazz is all through JSON. It's kind of annoying, so you might want to set up some templates if I can actually if I remember where over in file and code templates in IDEA, you can create your own custom file templates. So, like, for example, you would have, this is what a Java class template looks like. We don't really need to worry too much because IDEA's got that for us, but we want to make our own custom JSON file templates. So, for a simple item model, this is what I've made. I've just given it the name of simple item model with the extension .json, which tells it that it wants to make a JSON file. And we'll use the project name and the name of the file to automatically generate a model file that will just show a plain texture and, like, give it the 3D look. This uses the, models will usually have a parent which just inherits some fancy stuff. Minecraft item generated is a built-in one that does the fancy item model thing in Java code, but we don't really care. Then it sets up different layers named layer and then immediately the number. Layer 0 is the base layer, and the higher you get, and then any layers with a higher number will be drawn up on top of it. So, what we're gonna, so then we've got the path to it. This will always take the space form of the namespace, which is a system Minecraft has for differentiating what stuff comes from where. Then we'll put it in the textures item folder, then name it oceanicquartz.png. We can drop the textures because we know it's going to be a texture, and the .png because we know it's going to be a .png. So if we take this template, we can just change this out for Oceanica, because that's our namespace over here, assets Oceanica, and then we can name that to Oceanic Quartz. Then, if we run it again, no quality options, no. Do I not have transcoding tonight? That sucks. Twitch is weird with its transcoding and, like, when you're allowed to have it. Don't have great service here. Yeah, I'm so sorry. There's nothing I can do. Twitch just doesn't want to let me have transcoding tonight for some reason. Alright, if we pull back over here. Now, you might have noticed when we went through, this time it didn't actually give us the error for a missing model. So, now you see, we've got our fancy blue quartz out in the world. Auto jump. Yeah, we've got our fancy, pretty quartz, and it's nice, but it's still got that weird, untranslated item Oceanic Quartz name. So, for that, we can just close out. We don't care if stuff gets corrupted. So, back in our Assets Oceanica folder, we're going to create a new file at lang/en_us.json. enus is the code for United States English translation, which is like what we're using because that's basically Minecraft's default, and of course like we are white people, like just boundaries of white person living in America. So yeah, that's what we're gonna use. For this, then we want to set the key to that weird string we saw earlier of item.oceanica. Oh, I'm typoed. Oceanica.oceanic quartz. And then we're just gonna want to set what we want that string to be. So we can just have it something like that. Then, if we go back in again, yes, it does sadly take this long every time you want to launch Minecraft, but frankly, it's a lot faster than Forge takes. Yeah, now, it's got that oceanic quartz name. Hooray, we have an item. We can stack it up to 64. We can pick it up, throw it down pick it up, drop down, throw it all around. And not really much else, because we didn't give it any special logic. You can't, like, throw it like a fishing rod or whatever, or like light fires with it or anything like that, or even use it in any recipes, just because we haven't defined that yet. So we're gonna need to do that. Luckily, oceanic quartz doesn't need to have any special properties of its own, so we can still keep it as a plain item. However, for tools and stuff, those will need fancier properties. If we're going to start registering multiple items, instead of just registering them in line and then throwing the reference away, we're going to want to keep it around. So we're going to just set a public static item of oceanic quartz, which then we can say over in the initialize is, we'll assign it to this registered item. Now, there's the fact that we're gonna be registering like a good few items for this mod. If you look over here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 items that we have textures for right now, and we might want to add even more later on. So having to type this whole register thing out over and over is frankly going to be a huge pain in the ass. So we're going to create a method that can just be a private static item, because we want it to return the item. We can just name it register or something. Then all we really need, so we can just, before we actually set the parameters, let's look at what actually would stay the same over different items. So we're always going to be registering it to the register item, because that's where items go. And we're always going to put it under the namespace Oceanica, because that's the name of our mod. Then the path is going to change, because that's what defines what the name of the item is, and the actual object we're registering is going to be different every time. So the only parts of it that will actually change are going to be oceanic quartz and this new item part. So we can just take a string path, or name, and an item that we're going to register. Then we can just return. It's difficult typing and talking at the same time. Then new identifier. Oceanica, because that's always going to be the same. Then we'll have it do the name. Then we can put the item in. Now we can change all of, like, this real big line. Like, this goes out to column 158. And just go to... And there, that's what the... And there, that's gonna be a lot easier to write out for each individual item. It only goes to column 106 instead of 158. And, like, this is a lot... Yeah, and, like, just... We can copy-paste this, and it's nice and readable. As you see, it doesn't go off the screen. Now, I do want to quickly just give a side tangent on the registry system, because that is one of the most important parts of Minecraft modding. The registry is a system that Minecraft adds, which is how it knows what exists. So there are a ton of different types of things that get registered. There's, like, blocks, items, potions, status effects, sound events, fluids, entity types, enchantments, block entity types. So much different stuff. There's an insane amount of things, and they've all got this weird registry key thing. And that is, frankly, overwhelming as shit. Like, just, there's so much here, it's so hard to, like, figure out what you're supposed to do. The registry key system is a new thing they've added recently, and it is mostly for serialization, so writing something out to a JSON object, or NBT, or a packet, or whatever. And we, luckily, won't need to worry about registry keys at all. They just don't matter to all the stuff we're going to be doing. You might notice that there are different types of registries that get added. There's registries and there's defaulted registries. The only real difference is that, well, a defaulted registry has a default option. So, it's got, like, a default value for when something doesn't exist. For example, that would be the block of air that is everywhere where there isn't another block. Oh, sorry about my mic. But yeah. Most of the registries that you'll be adding content into are defaulted just because they have a value other than null for when something's not there, because nulls are scary, and we don't want to think about them. Well, now that we have got the oceanic quartz as an item, maybe we should add a block for it to drop from, so we can do a static block. We can add, like, an oceanic quartz ore. Then we will want to, then we can just make a new register function due to Java's ability to overload, so static register. This time we're going to put it in the block registry, but it's going to be basically the same. Then we can just create a new block, so that we'll do a register, or then we can do a new block, and this is kind of an important turning point because because this is somewhere that Fabric actually does stuff. Like, Fabric API is usually really hands-off. It doesn't care super much about, like, what you're doing on the vanilla side, but there's some points at which just you want to where Fabric has to step in. Let's go look over at the constructor of block, and it comes with this settings object, which has all sorts of stuff like the material color factory, collidable, sound group, luminance, resistance, hardness, tool required, random tick, slipperiness, velocity multiplier, jump velocity multiplier. So much stuff, it's terrifying again. Luckily, again, we don't need to care about much of that right now. Like, just, we're never gonna make our own air block, and stuff like the loop table ID is set up automatically unless we want to change it. And, like, we're not going to do anything with jump velocity or slipperiness or stuff like that. So, we don't need to worry about that. But what we do need to worry about is how it's going to be broken. Because, like, it's Minecraft. You mine a lot. And you might know there's, like, different types of blocks that can only be mined with a certain tool. So, for example, like, stone can only be broken with pickaxes. Like, obsidian can only be broken with diamond pickaxes or better or such. There's not actually a hook for that in Loki satisfying to have a big block of code that you can confidently ignore. Yeah, it is really satisfying. Yeah, the issue is that's actually, like, just, you'd assume that there's a system for, like, determining what blocks can be broken by what tool. Like, there's, like, a built-in mining level for blocks that's a property on the blocks. Well, no. If we look over here, gonna hide that for now, it literally just is hard-coded for every block with a non-standard mining system, like a non-standard mining level in the game. It's completely hard-coded. Thanks, Mojang. But luckily, we have Fabric API. And you might look in the huge list of Fabric API stuff that most of it we won't be touching. Over here we have a system called the Fabric Tool Attribute API. This is not immediately important to us, but if you want to take a look down in the code, you can look at Tool Manager Impl, and you'll see that there's just a few stuff. There's, like, a lot of code that will allow us to say, hey, look, this gets broken by hand no matter what. But this is all in an impl package. We don't really want to use that. So instead, we can take a look around and see Fabric Object Builder API v1. The old version 0, is still in, but it's outdated and might break in the future, so we're going to use the new stuff. If we go in, dig down into API Object Builder v1, we can go to block and say, hey, what's Fabric block settings? It looks to extend abstract block settings and do most of the same stuff, but then if you look down past all the built-in vanilla stuff, all this down here, hardness, resistance drops, material color, you can see these new methods like break by hand and break by tool. And this is what we're gonna want to do. oceanic quartz ore is going to be in sand, so we want it to be mined with a pickaxe. So, if we want to set that, we will have to use a fabric block settings. And the way you create one of those is with a material. Let's just get sand, or let me double check this. Good thing this isn't actually the final recording, because I don't remember what fucking material that vanilla uses. So, luckily, you can see every vanilla block in the game in this class called blocks. Then we can just Command F, search for sand. We can look. It does this. Yeah, sand uses a special sand block, which is extends falling block, which is how it does its falling thing. And it uses settings of material aggregate and material color sand. Then it's got a strength of 0.5. I don't entirely remember the scale that strength and resistance are built on, but we might want to go off that. And then it uses the sounds of sand. Now, we could just, because we want to make ours like sand, we could just make it all this stuff. We could just copy all this out and use it. Or we could use the fabric block settings.copy for blocks.sand, which will let us use all of sand's properties, which gives us all of sand's properties, and then we can add on to. So then we can oh, we want to use, oh, I see what's going on. We want to use copy of, because that's one that fabric actually adds. Then we can set our break by tool. Then we want pickaxes, and fabric adds a thing called fabric tool tags. Or like we want to use shovels. So there. Now we can, now our block can be broken by any shovel. Of course, we haven't set up any models or anything for this, so it's still going to be a pink and black missing texture block. So let's look at it in game. Alright, let's load up. Yep, it's freaking out because it doesn't have any block state definitions, file not found. We don't really care because we'll deal with that later. Pull it up, and once it lets us in, we can go into building blocks and look for... wait. If you look through the tabs, you'll notice that our block isn't there. If we search up ocean, it only pulls up oceanic quartz. What the hell is going on? Why isn't it in the inventory? Maybe if... let's see, so... let's do set block, tilde, -1, tilde, so it's the one below us. Then... oh, there it is. Yeah, it's there just fine, but it's not in the inventory. Why is that? Well, you may know from like old Minecraft that you used to be able to have stuff like raw water blocks in your inventory, or blocks of fire or such in your inventory, and you can't anymore. That's because Mojang made blocks and items completely separate. We registered a block but we didn't register an associated item for it. So it's only exists in the world and not in the inventory. So let's think of something that we could do to fix that. Well, we've got this register method here. What if... Because we might want to add some blocks that don't have item forms. What if we make a new version of it that also gets... that also gets some item settings. Then we can register in registry.item with a new identifier of Oceanica in the name, a new block item, which is a built-in thing that makes it so that automatically has the logic for placing down blocks. There. And now, all we need to do to give it an item is just a group. Let's say put it in building blocks. Alright, let's run it again. Okay. Now, if we look through, scroll to the bottom, oh look, it's our oceanic quartz, woohoo! And if we pick block, we'll get it in our inventory now. Hooray! Awesome! Yay! We have it! Yeah! So yeah, that's what you'll need to do if you want to have an item that'll also be able to be used in your inventory. Now, let's get ourselves, it'll work with a wood shovel, and then let's just put 2 of these down. Then, if we go over here, that took a little while to break, but now it took less time with the shovel. But look, it still didn't work for giving up, it didn't give us the item. That's because it doesn't know that it's supposed to give us the item. That takes what is called data. So we're gonna add that now. In, I believe it was I don't remember if it was 1.13 or 1.14, but they added a system that makes it so any block can have its have what it drops completely customized by a data pack. And in doing that, they made it so if there's no loot table for it, it won't drop anything. For a loot table, for a block that goes, for a block's loot table, you'll want to put it in data, your namespace, then loot tables, blocks, and then the path of the block. Then that's just going to be a JSON object. But what the fuck does a loot table look like? Let's go back over to the Minecraft source over in this column. If we look in Data Minecraft, it's got all its advancements, loot tables, recipes, structures, and tags, all right here. So we can look into the loot tables blocks, and then just look at any of the blocks and see what they drop. For example, pretty good, there's really 2 types of blocks in the game. In the base game. there's blocks that drop themselves, and there's blocks that don't. So for example, let's find cobblestone. If we look over at cobblestone, where is it? You'll see it does a roll of 1 with an entry of an item and the name Minecraft cobblestone on the condition that it survives an explosion. Then, yeah, but also there are blocks that don't drop themselves, like say coal ore. As you can see, this one is a bit more complicated. It has two different possibilities. There's this first one, which has the condition that it matches a tool that has Silk Touch and it'll drop itself. And if it doesn't have Silk Touch, it will just, it'll drop coal items with, the different effects of, like, fortune, and if it gets exploded, it might not drop. But yeah. I think for now, we're just going to make it drop. So we're going to make Oceanic Quartz Ore drop itself for now. Yeah. It is important to note that there are some things like stone, if I can pull it up. Stone. This one it has Silk Touch and non-Silk Touch, but it doesn't have, like, a different amount of drops. It'll always drop either one smooth, or it'll always drop one stone or one cobblestone. We might want to have something like that later. But yeah, now, if we launch back into the game, hello, stream. Hello, Derpy. Nice to see you. So, now if we say... Oh, got a tab complete, then we give ourselves 2 more Oceanic Quartz Ore. We can place those down. If we punch this one... And... like that. So, that's weird, isn't it? We set it to break by tool of shovels, but it still dropped. We would want to specify that in our loot table, I think. Because pickaxes are the only ones that have, like, special different drops if you break them differently. Yeah, there, we have a block and an item, and hooray, that's really cool. I'm gonna, before we go on and start talking about tools and everything, I want to just, take a quick pause, see if there are any questions that anyone has. Yeah, if you want to know anything about, the stuff we've done so far, if you're confused about anything, please let me know so I can, just help you understand what's going on. Giving it a few seconds for folks to type out their stuff, if they wanna. Alright, I'm guessing that folks don't really have many questions at the moment. That's nice. Means that hopefully I've explained things pretty well so far. Well, let's take a look at doing some more fancy stuff, shall we? if we, yeah, we looked earlier on, and we saw that there are like a lot of different subclasses of items. So like, there's axe items, and like, let's say there's a flint and steel item. We really care just about a few, so we want an axe item. So the stuff we're going to be adding, we're going to add armor, we're going to add an axe, a hoe, let's find them. We're going to get a pickaxe, going to get a shovel, and we're going to get a sword. Now, you may see, these all look like decently similar, but they've all got differences. For example, an axe can strip logs and such. A shovel can create paths. Pickaxes don't really have any fancy right-click function, but they've got like the weird hell stuff. Luckily, we don't need to worry about this, but for anything else, it might be a bit of a concern. Swords, they're for attacking, so they care more about attacks than mining. And armor's, I'm just gonna say armor's weird. It's, yeah, you use the same armor class for helmets, chest plates, leggings, and boots, just change the equipment slot. But we aren't really gonna want to use these classes as themselves because we want to do fancy things. So we're gonna create some new classes. So for example, we're gonna have an Ocean Aura armor that, yeah, so like for our Ocean Aura armor, we're gonna have an extension of armor item. Or then we're gonna have our axe and pickaxe and everything. Always make sure you've got like the same constructor. Then now I want to check something. There is the new Minecraft class, which looks to be built in from Minecraft development. So let's make a new item that is... I actually haven't used this before. Okay, it just sets up the extends item and such. Not super helpful because we're doing different things. But yeah, the weird thing with hoes is that hoes are weird with their attack speed and such, if I remember. And you've also got tilling and everything. Ocean or armor, axe, hoe, shovel, pickaxe. And lastly, we've got our Ocean or sword item. Now, we've got all these things. Hooray! But we can just use them like this for now until we want to get the fancy stuff set up. Now, if you may see, all of the tools want a tool material, which has durability, mining speed multiplier, attack damage, mining level, enchantability, and a repair ingredient. We can look down over in the Minecraft code. There's an enum called Tool Materials, which implements tool material. This is where you can see your wood, stone, iron, diamond, gold, and netherite. Now, this is kind of where we start having to think about, like, the actual, like, balance in everything, like, what we're actually going to be making with this mod. As you may see, these start off with, honestly, kinda, like just wood. Stuff goes from, like, piss poor to super overpowered. And, like, just we need to figure out what we wanna, like, where we wanna have our thing. But, one thing, but I'm gonna say, we won't need to worry about it much later, because we're gonna be using this dynamic attribute tool thing, which is neat. It basically allows us to have a custom mining level and mining speed multiplier and entity attribute modifiers that are determined by our item stack and other info instead of just this hard-coded tool material. You might also see that for the pickaxe, even though there's an attack damage in, or there's an attack damage in here, it still has an attack damage out here. If we go look at the super, that's because, and then go to mining tool item, that's because if we look over here, its attack damage is the damage of the material plus the plus the modifier for, like, a pickaxe or such. Yeah, that's something we can pick. Then, of course, there's attack speed and, like, the usual item settings for, like, putting it into the tool category and everything. Also, back over on, if you go further up on tool item, it will, this is where it sets the durability of the tool. Now, we might want to do something else with this. Where, like, just we might want to use a system other than the built-in durability and breaking for our tools, but we'll think about that later. For now, we definitely want to set these all to public constructors so we can actually use them. Not sure why the pickaxe one is protected, but who knows. Just double checking. Public. And public. And public. Yeah. Just... yeah. That should give us basically a good foundation to start working from. Let's for now just make an ocean ore tool material. And then, how about, because, like, some of this stuff is going to be changed based on our MBT and everything, for now, how about we set it around iron level, so... yeah. So, tool materials has all this stuff, and you might notice it uses a supplier for a repair ingredient, because it wants to be lazy about it, because otherwise it might get initialized before stuff is registered, and that would make it throw a tantrum. So, most of this stuff is going to be hard-coded because it's going to be the same. Let's just base it off iron for now. So, so durability is going to be 250. Oh, 250. The speed multiplier is going to be 6.0 or 6F. Attack damage, we're going to do 2F. Mining level of 2. Enchantability of 14. So we might want to change that because enchanting is going to be main focus. And then we've got the repair ingredient, which static final lazy ingredient. New lazy. Which we're going to use a lambda for oceanic quartz. So yeah, this lazy system just basically means that we won't be gonna hop into Destiny right now, so talk to you later. Gonna keep up the good work, you're the coolest. Thank you very much. But yeah, this lazy system is just something Minecraft has, so it won't load, it won't process what it is until it needs to. And then it won't need to process it again after it's run once. Yeah. Yeah, now we can start making more things, so let's make another. Let's say, for now, let's just make a pickaxe. Let's again go over to items. Down to iron pickaxe, you'll see. Yeah, we're just gonna base it again off iron, so we'll do ocean our pickaxe equals register. Pickaxe. An ocean pickaxe type with new ocean or a tool material. We'll probably want to just have a one off of those. Then we'll set an 1 and negative 2.8F. Then it will have settings of group item group tools. Now you may notice these lines are still getting pretty long, even though we moved it into a register block, which, like, yeah, stuff is gonna get pretty complicated. There's a lot of stuff that goes into configuring items. Okay. Now, if we go back into game mode creative, if we look, oh look, we've got an ocean or a pickaxe. It again doesn't have texture, but look, it takes a little while to raise up, like a pickaxe would. And it's the same time as an iron pickaxe. Hooray! We've got it! Then, if we go into over here, it's mining at the exact same speed as iron, taking the exact same amount of damage. Hooray! We have a pickaxe. Now, how do you make it? We don't have a crafting recipe yet. That's out. Now, that will also go in the data area. But instead of in loot tables, it'll go in recipes as pickaxe. Yeah, then we're gonna want to make a recipe. Now, I'm gonna be honest, recipe JSONs are a bit of a pain in the ass. So, I'm gonna show you my pro tip. We're gonna pop over to crafting.thedestruction.ca. The last T is a 7, the last O is a 0. You can also just search Minecraft crafting recipe maker. I saw the website too, yeah, it is the best for making crafting recipes. So, for example, let's take... We can use diamonds as placeholders for now because it doesn't know that our items exist. Then 2 sticks and a diamond pickaxe. There, and that creates a JSON recipe for us. Back over to idea, we can paste this in. Then, instead of Minecraft diamond, we can say, instead of this hash, because it uses a table and a dictionary, means oceanic quartz. Sticks are fine. Then, for the result, we'll do an Oceanora pickaxe. And while we're here, we're gonna make a new simple item model for pickaxe. Alright. There, that automatically generated it for us, hooray. Let's launch again. Then look, we've got our fancy pickaxe texture. And if we grab 3 oceanic quartz and 2 sticks and a crafting table, we can 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, boom! Hooray! We've got our fucking pickaxe crafting. Woohoo! That is honestly, like, yeah, we are getting really close to, like, the end of, like, the simple stuff. And I don't think I'm gonna do the more complex bits today, just because I'm not entirely ready for them. But there are still a couple things that need to be done. First, yeah, let me first do just a couple more things. So... Then I need to grab one more thing from over here. I did make the... Okay, yeah, I did right. Yes, okay, neat. Okay. Now, yes. There. Okay, now that that's pushed, I can pull down from here. And if we look, now there is a block folder with a pretty alright oceanic quartz ore texture. Which I should rename to oceanic quartz ore. Now, let's get that model. Let's get that model for the block working. Now, we could, yeah, so if we just do like if we just made an oceanic quartz ore.json with Minecraft block cube all textures all oceanica block / oceanic quartz ore. There, now we've got like a pretty simple like ocean. Yeah, so like just this will put this texture on every face of the block. Let's load the game up. Let's go, let's go. Getting to the texture spot. Oh no. Why did this still happen? It said exception loading block state definition, and then it couldn't find model's item oceanic core JSON. So, that's because items have a separate model file from blocks. So we want to, so I've got a template for this, so that'll just parent it to the existing oceanic quartz ore, and we need to make a block state. These are the block states are what determine models for blocks. They can have lots of different properties, like which way something's facing, whether a lamp is on or off, what value redstone has, etc. We don't have any properties on this block. And so all we need to do is just create an empty field, which is the default. Then we can create this. Oceanica block oceanic quartz ore. Now technically you don't need this oceanic quartz ore in block. You could put it in an item and point this to it, but this just makes it neater. Yeah, so what we did here is for a blank means a wildcard, so any variant will have this. We tell it to set the model to the oceanic quartz ore. And that's what we're going to want it to have. Before we launch the game again, we should set up some more LAN keys, so Oceanica, oceanic quartz ore. Blocks, block items will use the blocks translation key, which is like this, then item, Oceanica, ocean, or pickaxe. There. And now we can launch. Now let's watch the log again. It's in the model phase. And look, we didn't get those errors, so let's get into the game. And if we give ourselves two of these, look at that. Oh, we're still in creative, whoops. Then if we survival, boom, they drop. And they have the item model, and we can craft the oceanic quartz shards, which we can't get from these just yet, but that'll be in later design. We can craft those into a pickaxe, and we can add the other tools. But yeah, that is basically all there is to making a, like, really simple content, like a mini content mod. You've got your ore, like, you've got a block, you've got, it can mine, you can craft it into things. Hooray! We haven't touched Oregen yet, because, frankly, I haven't learned Oregen yet, and Oregen is fucking terrifying. In the new 1.16 versions, I'll have to talk to one of my friends before putting that in the tutorial. But yeah, that's honestly really all there is to cover for this first episode. Yeah, for the, like, first couple episodes of the series. Hooray! Yeah. Still got like half an hour left, and what I will need to do before I actually re-release the original one is I need to actually hydrate, thank you. And a stretch. Thank you. Okay. Now, we're gonna have to do something interesting here. I want to record some stuff for the introductory episode again, which I want to have both me on the screen, and I'm gonna have some voice for it. So, yeah. Normally I would use OBS to do that, but OBS is for, like, the video, but, well, OBS is kind of occupied. Let's see. That work? Let me do something real quick. That'd work. Okay. So, yeah. Hello, lovely mimic. We're about to do some recording. Okay. So, I'm going to do... yeah. Alright, let's go back over to load standard VMM. There. Alright. And, that one. Oh, shoot, you're in the blue. Yeah, I'm setting up a blue screen. Fast and encompassing. Okay. And pad. Shit, do I have an audio recording thing on here? This one I did, but WavePad is apparently not just, like... There's default Windows voice recorder. I wanted to, but... Scuff time! not gonna... I don't want to do Audacity. Let's see if Ocean Audio is good. Okay. Sorry if this is gonna take a little while, but yeah. This is my most scuffed stream yet. Yeah. Okay. 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 Yep. Okay then. Audio and settings. Default input is voice mod. Okay. Alright. Then I've got script over here. Okay. Alright. Hopefully the stream is still working. Really hope I don't lose tracking while I'm doing this, because that would mean I have to re-record it. So what happened? Yeah, I am going to do some audio recording. We got like the basic like stuff like tools and items and blocks and stuff registered, and now we are going to record some audio. This'll be fun. I'm gonna pause this for just a bit. And I'm gonna have to just fetch this out of the, like, VOD later. Okay. Got a script here. And then I can just, like, read it off and hopefully not fuck up or anything. Just a sec. Okay. Alright. Check 1, 2. Okay, and just double checking that everything is ready to go. Yeah. Alright, 3, 2, 1. Or... Greetings! I am LMC9EOF. If you're watching this, then you probably want to make a Minecraft mod. If so, Then you're in luck. This is the start of a series of videos I'll be making on how to write your first Minecraft mod for Minecraft 1.16 and beyond. Today, I just want to lay out the overview of what this series will look like and what you'll need to know going into it, so I'm going to call it Part 0. The vast majority of programming tutorials, and modding tutorials as well, focus exclusively— Alright. Go. The vast majority of programming tutorials, and modding tutorials as well, focus exclusively on the aspect of how to write code. While, of course, this is the most fundamental part to making a mod, I'd argue that it's only the small piece of making a good mod. Modding is very similar to game design in that you need to manage a coherent feeling across an entire work. If you've ever played with Minecraft mods before, you've probably noticed that some mods feel better than others. They're more complete, more fun to play with, look better, or some combination. You've probably also noticed that there are a lot of mods that just add emerald tools and armor. There's nothing wrong with an emerald equipment mod. Everyone's made one before, or at least something like it. That's what many folks' first mods are. They're easy and simple to make and help familiarize you with how Minecraft modding works. While, to some degree, the mod you'll be making with this tutorial is like that, I'm going to give special consideration to what makes a mod fun to play with. Since I mentioned it, I should probably give a preview of the mod Tripping on words is less than fun. I need to re-record some of these later, we'll see. Since I mentioned it, I should probably give a preview of the mod— what is going on? Since I mentioned it, I should probably give a preview of the mod this tutorial is for. Introducing Oceanica, an adventure and magic-themed mod based around oceanic quartz, a magical material that's able to harden and improve itself over time. Players will be able to use oceanic quartz to craft standard tools, weapons, and armor, then have to quench it in water before it's usable. The mod is going to start simple, only adding basic equipment, but as we progress, it's going to grow in scope to become a fully featured standalone mod. This mod is going to be for Minecraft 1.16, and we're going to be using the Fabric modding toolchain to make it. Eventually, we'll be adding various other dependencies to the project so that we can do more advanced things without making things overly complicated for ourselves. This tutorial is primarily designed for people who already have a general idea about how programming works and how to write Java code. The Minecraft codebase is big and complex, with dozens and dozens of major changes over the decade it's been in existence. It's generally not a good idea to learn the programming language it's written in at the same time that you're trying to understand the codebase you're working off of. If you aren't familiar with Java, I highly recommend the official Java tutorials by Oracle or taking the Codecademy course on Java. Links to each are available in the description below. Minecraft is written using Java 8, and our mod will be as well. The most important thing to note about that is that many features in Minecraft require the use of lambdas, a method of easy— The most important thing to note about that is that many features in Minecraft require the use of lambdas, a method of easily writing dynamic and anonymous classes that was introduced in Java 8. There's a link to the specific page about that— There's a link to the specific page about lambdas in the description— There's a link to the specific page about lambdas in the description as well. Minecraft modding fundamentally requires a lot of dependencies, and it uses Gradle for managing them. Fabric has a Gradle plugin called Loom, which helps manage some of the— Fabric has a Gradle plugin called Loom, which helps manage some of the trickier issues with Minecraft so that we don't have to. We'll be covering what Oceanica does with Gradle, but not generally how to use it. Lastly, you should know about Git and how to use it in Lastly, you should know about Git and how to use it in some form, whether through a GUI or the command line. Fuck. Alright, this part of the script was written before we started getting announcements for 117. Okay. I'm gonna have to improv this one. Mojang has started releasing snapshots for Minecraft 1.17, the Caves and Cliffs update. There are some notable changes being made, but until it's released, I won't really know how much will be broken from this tutorial. When we get closer to the release, I will look through and decide whether it's better to just walk the current... Mojang... No, When we get closer to release, I will look through all the changes and decide whether it's better to just walk the current tutorial through updating from 1.16 to 1.17, or to start over from scratch. We'll have to see how things go. The first proper episode will be about how to set up a development environment for Minecraft mods. We will be using IntelliJ IDEA, along with a special plugin that makes Minecraft modding a lot easier. I will step through how to install the plugin, but you will need to set up IDEA and the Java 8 development kit for yourself. The process is effectively identical on Mac, Windows, and Linux, but I'll be using Windows for the tutorial since it's what most folks are accustomed to. I'll see you back there for that soon. Take care and have a great day. Okay, that's like, 6 minutes of audio that is hopefully not scrap. Oh boy. Yeah, well. Let's tag that here. Actually, I'll tag here. Loop back what I missed. We set up... You had so many more outtakes than I did, yeah. No. Yeah, other way around, yeah. I have practiced a lot on how to not flub lines when reading off script. What I missed, we've set up the core part of the mod, and we have, and I re-recorded some of the voiceover. But yeah, basically just getting stuff set up for the main tutorial. Yeah. Had 20 minutes of audio and like 15 minutes of... It was me going, fuck, shit, fuck, yeah. There were a few things that I think I'm gonna have to re-record later, but I'm happy with what I got done. Yeah. I'm gonna say, this is basically your... Yeah, gosh, Windows is so laggy. Yeah, audio recording definitely an experimental time. Alright. I'm gonna say this is your last chance to ask questions about the series for now, like if you want to know where stuff is going, or like for me to clarify on some of the stuff that was covered today. Now is your chance. While I look for someone to go raid. Oh! Mimic has redeemed a Minecraft mod request. Mimic, what is your demand? This part 1, part 0. I'm going to be remaking part 0 just as Lemma instead. I want some uses for eggs. We can brainstorm what? They're so dang useless. Yeah, they are. Fuck, I just realized that because I was recording my video the entire time, there's gonna be like some cuts when, yeah, like between when I have to do the outtakes and everything, but oh well, I can deal with it. I can just use like fades or something. Not a big deal. Yeah, something to do with eggs. Okay. I don't think I'm up to getting to work on that right now because we're 5 minutes to the end, but yeah. Eggs it is. Just hit me up on Discord and we can chat about it. No rush, yeah. Eggs isn't the food or eggs isn't people in denial? Eggs isn't the item in Minecraft. Hey. Oh. Ladder's an obtainable item, sadly. Not yet, it isn't. Okay. Who should we raid today? Anyone have preferences? Yuma and Celadon, it looks, are streaming Ace Attorney. Not sure if Notori's there right now. Don't see her on the preview. Phoebetron Chibi's playing Omori. Argama Witch is playing The Forest. Mike Check's doing our... I haven't rated Mike... I don't think I've rated Mike Check before, so... Ooh, they're doing Vroid comms. Ooh. That sounds fun. So... yeah. How about we go raid Mike Check? Raid phrase. Oceanic raid with that. Alright, so that's gonna be our raid phrase for the night. Night. Alright, yeah. Let's get this raid going. Thank you all so very much for joining in tonight. This was really productive. I had a lot of fun, like, teaching folks how to make a Minecraft mod. It was really cool. I will hopefully get the edited form of episode 0 out soon. Yeah, please don't forget, when you get over to Mike Check's channel, toss them a follow and click on their profile icon twice, so that your view counts for Path to Partner. Next time I will be streaming is on Saturday, when I'm gonna do some more programming for, and possibly some writing for the Game Boy Yuri story. That'll be exciting. Yeah. And... yeah, thank you for everyone who came in. Thank you for checking it out, watching me, and dealing with all my stuff. And thank you, Leah, for sending in a Minecraft mod request. We'll get to that probably next Monday. And with that, I'm gonna send you all over. We'll start the raid in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you soon!